Welcome back to Underground Pulse, undergroundpulse.net. My name is Jerica J.
And Chili.
And we are chilling live here at Rocklahoma 2014 with Ragdoll. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic, guys. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, why don't we do some introductions? Shall we go this way, that way?
I'm Cam. I'm from Ragdoll. I'm the drummer. Yep.
My name's Ryan. I'm the bass player and lead vocalist.
And I'm Leon. I play guitar.
Awesome. Now, this has to be the third or fourth band we've seen from Australia. What is with all the amazing bands coming from that area?
We're trying. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're trying to. No, there's not a lot of this kind of opportunity for us back home. So some of us that are fortunate enough to know who to talk to over here are able to, come over here and peddle our wares to, to people on the other side of the ocean. On the other side of the world. It's nice.
What is the music scene, if there is one, over in Australia like?
People are into a lot more. There's like a lot more folky stuff that's happening. There's also a lot of electronic that's happening. A lot of indie type sound. But and then what happens is you get independent radio stations like indie radio, and they've stopped plugging independent bands. They've started plugging bands with that indie sound. So now you've got indie radio plugging signed bands that have an indie sound. Now we're an independent band, and that we're completely self-managed,
right?
Self-run, self-driven, and there's very little radio play for bands like us. Playing this kind of music, because everybody's into that electronic stuff, into that folky stuff. So it's good for us because we can come here and play our brand of music to a bunch of starving people. They love it, and then we go home and really no one really cares too much about what we've been up to. It's great. You can kind of get back to anonymity and just get on with it and get back over here.
Kind of chill out for a while and then hop right back over.
I mean, we know where our bread's buttered. We get a lot of work in Australia, but it's not good for it's not ragdoll work. It's just making money just so that we can get back over here and do the best we can.
Yeah. So can you describe to me your guys' sound?
It's tough to describe because you wind up sort of pigeonholing yourself. What we really do, as Leon says countless times, is we try and we just capture those hooks, those great guitar riffs, those great melodies. We're a band who plays their instruments. We love those kinds of bands. We're a trio. We love those powered trios, and we just love anything that sounds good and makes you feel something. And that's the kind of music that we try and write.
Yeah, we were watching a couple of your guys' music videos just a little bit ago, and yeah, that's definitely it. You guys have these riffs and these rhythms that catch your attention.
Oh, I'm glad you noticed. I'm glad that came through. Thanks.
All I want, I literally knew the words like right off the bat to that chorus. That's great look.
That's good. That's a song we wrote after coming to America. And we wrote that pretty much about being in America and about Americans, and because that's pretty much all you guys want. It's everything.
That's true. Right now and when we want it. Yeah, that's about right.
That's good. We love it here. We love it here.
That's good. I'm glad you enjoy it. And you're eating my nuts, so that makes me feel
good.
No, honey, they are there for you.
Excuse me talking with a mouthful of nuts.
You don't hear that every day. Now, when you guys came over here asking for them in the beginning, you said you were vegan, is that right?
I'm vegan, yeah.
You're vegan? How difficult is it for you when you're talking about riders and stuff like that to get the food that you need?
Well, for a band like us, it's quite tough because, no one really gives a shit who we are. So it's, hard to kind of make those demands, But most of the places we've been, Leon handles all of that kind of stuff very well. He just says, look, Cam doesn't eat pork, Ryan doesn't eat any animals, and I eat anything. But we do, the three of us, we actually try and eat, we do try and eat well. But, it can be tough, especially going to a restaurant in the Midwest. Going to a barbecue, smokehouse, or whatever you guys call them. I'm kind of...
It's normally for Ryan, I'm a vegan. Oh, so you don't eat meat? No, don't eat any animal products. Can you have milk? Nope. Can you have cheese? Nope. And they're just surely you can,
what do you eat?
Yeah, it's well, and we get that a lot. A lot of people are y'all need to eat a cheeseburger or something. And it's we do eat. We do take care of ourselves. We don't come from this sort of, nomadic hunter-gatherer society. Australia is a very the cities anyway are very cosmopolitan and they're thriving global cities. So but that like anything, everything when you're on the road it's no harder than if you were traveling around camping out or anything like that, which is essentially what we do.
That's awesome. We actually have a friend, a band called Blame Shift. They're from New York, and their lead singer is vegan, and I booked them a couple times, so I'm very familiar with dealing with that. And I find it very refreshing, honestly, because it makes me think outside the box, outside of, pizza and McDonald's.
That's all it is. It's really, I heard something that struck a chord with me. It said it's sacrificing tradition, convenience, and habit for health. And that's all it is. It's not an animal rights thing. It makes me feel icky, so even though it does. I'll be the first to admit I'm a real fanny with it all. But yeah, that's all it's just for me to carry on doing this on 2 hours of sleep every night. I got to take care of myself somewhere. I got to be kind to myself somehow. And yeah, I'm glad you asked that question.
It's just a personal choice to make sure you can put on the best show possible.
I mean, Cam will sit there. Cam will have a kilo steak for lunch, and he'll wash it down with a spearmint milkshake, and he'll get up and play the best fucking gig you've ever seen him play. So it's different strokes for different oaks.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, and I think definitely playing the sort of music we play. There's only 3 of us, so if someone makes a mistake, you notice, and we pride ourselves on being on top of our game all the time, and we play music which is hard to play. We don't set out to play songs that are hard to play because, our egos are massive and we want to prove something. It's just sort of music we like is tricky to play, and it has to be played a certain way, and, we get bummed out if we suck, so, and our audiences are going to be bummed out if we suck, so that's the only reason we try to do that.
Have you guys had any True Blue Ragdoll fans here at Rocklahoma?
Any what Ragdoll fans? Sorry.
Like True Blue Ragdoll fans?
Oh yeah. We've had a lot of fans from the first show that we did here a couple of years ago.
Ragdoll fans, do you?
No. We've seemed to notice that most of the Ragdoll fans most of the fans we have are just really like die-hard fans. Like stuff that I would never have been able to prepare myself for. I'm always blown away by how people consume music and how they want to get to know you and how they want more and more and more. It's nice. And sometimes it's frightening, just if you're not ready for it. But most of the time, it always makes us feel so special.
That's good. I'm glad.
That's gonna be a great feeling. Speaking of more, you guys have an EP out right now. Is there any thought of having a full-length album?
A full-length album?
Yeah.
We've been asked this question a lot, and we've talked about it a lot as well. We always there's the new one. Now this is Ragdoll Rewound. This is that's our first 2 EPs which we've remastered and remixed and re-released. So it's basically the way we always wanted it to sound.
Oh.
And then there's also 4 live tracks on there. One of which is a brand new track. In fact, the 3rd time we ever played it live is actually the recording that's on there.
Wow.
And we've got a few other live tracks just from the last year or 2, just to kind of keep it fresh and remind people who we are and what we're up to. As far as a full-length album goes, it's something that we would love to do, but it comes down to a case of timing, also funds as well. We can either pour all of our money into doing a full-length album exactly the way we want to do it, or exactly the way it should be done, but then we have to sacrifice
coming over here
and spending time over here. So it's a case of us picking and choosing our battles and just sort of putting out whichever scrub fire needs to be put out at that particular time.
So it sounds like you guys are having to make a lot of decisions on what you're going to do. What's been like the hardest decision you guys have had to make?
I think basically every time you sort of, you sit down and you go, do I want to keep doing this? Because obviously, a festival like Rocklahoma is a boom for us when we're here, and we get to meet so many people. We get to meet so many of our favorite bands. We just got to meet all the lovely guys from King. We were going to see them tonight, and that kind of thing. It's just that keeping that motivation and keeping that fire in the belly burning. If when you get home and sort of getting back to normal life, so to speak, and amping up and getting ready to do all of this again, because it's a massive undertaking, especially when it's just the three of us. You know, we were saying before, we're completely independent. We do everything from, you know, Cam does all the graphic design for our merchandise, and, you know, we write all the songs ourselves, and we self-produce and we record it, and it really is a three-man show. So, but having said that, you know, if this was easy to do, everybody would be doing it. So I have absolutely no complaints. I feel so blessed to be able to do this, not just from a personal perspective, but to do it with two other lovely human beings who I get on with so well and who I love to bits.
Aww. You guys are all eating nuts together.
That's right.
It's so cute. Sorry, I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. Now, do you guys have families back at home?
Yeah, we've all got family, yeah.
I'm assuming they're all very supportive of what you guys...
Very much so, yeah. We wouldn't be here otherwise.
Right.
No, mums and dads always coming to shows, and you know, yeah, it's great. We're very, very loved. We actually, and that's one thing that I've never been in a band with guys who come from that kind of background. You know, we all come from families that really love us, really support what we do, and it just makes it so much easier to, I guess, to be around each other, and it makes it so much easier to keep this going, because you kind of develop an understanding of each other, and yeah, it just makes it a whole lot easier to be very close for a very long time, you know?
Good. Now, looking at your tour schedule, actually, we get to come see you guys next Friday.
Fantastic.
You guys are going to be at the Riot Room in Kansas City, and
that should be good.
Right down the street.
Yeah, we've been looking forward to that show. Actually, we've never been out to Kansas City before, so it'll be our first show there, and yeah, we're gagging for it.
I think you guys will really like it. It's a cool venue. The stage is a decent size.
Yeah.
It's kind of just very narrow, but
it's one of those that if there's not very many people there, it looks like a huge crowd.
Right.
That's our kind of venue.
We think you guys will enjoy it, and now I could bring food. Yay! We already talked about the CD. Oh, the music video. Who came up with the idea for the robbery and the prostitution, if you will?
Oh, right. Well, what actually happened was, we've just released a music video for the song Tell Me, because essentially we're re-releasing that EP with the new release Ragdoll Rewound. Originally, we were going to do a music video for Tell Me before we came out here, and we wanted a concept video, so we kind of approached some people, and with some young guys back home who basically just heard the song a couple of times. We sent them an MP3, and they came back with this very detailed treatment. And about a week out from shooting this music video for Tell Me, we were sitting on this new song, which is a song All I Want, and we were like, you know, we're putting out a new record. This is going to be the new single. Why aren't we doing the video for this song? And as we were like ready to call them and say, look, can you do that treatment for this new song? And they sent us an email and said, look, we've had this completely new idea. We think it'll work really, really great, blah, blah, blah. And we were like, oh, cool, because we actually want to do it for this song. And it just fits so well, that idea of, you know, this, what we like to call spiritualized hedonism that exists is, you know, it's like, that's the new religion for the new world we live in. It's do anything, do anyone, at any time and get away with it, and that's...
It's that perversion of the do as thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. It's that, it's rife in this place, and we can't help but sing about it.
And it's perfect for us because we get to throw that in people's faces, and you really know when someone's on the level when they get that video. And you know, if someone, you know, when people come and go, hey, I love your video, it's really what I'm all about, it's kind of like, okay, we're trying to encourage you to not do that. So.
Yeah, wow.
I thought it was very interesting. I thought it went very well together. It's wonderful that you take all these kinds of experiences that you see here and around you and pull them into your music. Really like that. Not very many bands can take a song or take somebody smashing into a vehicle for an unfortunate event and turning it into a rock song. So that's awesome. You have another question for me?
You guys apparently have been working your asses off for a while now. What do you do to try to de-stress, or what do you do to calm yourselves at the end of the day? Or do you get time to do that?
Yeah, when we do get the chance to do that, it's usually just the way everybody else relaxes. You know, you eat some comfort food, you smoke some comfort smoke, and watch some comfort TV, and, you know, wear some comfy clothes. sit somewhere comfy. You just do all of that usual stuff. Yeah.
I'll play video games to, wind down. I've brought my DS and stuff on tour, so that's me.
Very nice.
I just play guitar, like at 2 in the morning, and annoy everybody because all they can hear is cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. Music really is, like, for me, it's kind of, it's full spectrum, it's what I love to do, as a serious thing, and, hopefully I can continue to try and do it as a career, but it's also, it's that place I can go when I want to, I guess rewind my mind, from the rest of the world, so.
You de-stress up there while you're playing. It's stressful, because shit can go wrong, but the fun is really, it's that half hour, 45 minutes, hour and 20 that you're playing. That's the fun. That's where you forget. That's what makes everything else worth it. All of that other stuff, either side of it, is all completely worthwhile.
It's that bubble.
All the interviews, all the assholes, all of the loading and unloading, and the sore hands and sore throats, and all of that kind of stuff that sore backs. It's great. I wouldn't change anything.
Good. Do you guys have any funny or embarrassing road stories that we could hear?
Somehow, I always, every single tour, I manage to sit my, like right where, my hole is. I managed to sit that right in something that looks like poo. And so there's been 3 tours now where I've walked around with what looks like a shitty ass. That's pretty embarrassing. Then another embarrassing tour story was when I was, and I've told this story before, I was stuck for toilet stops, and they wouldn't stop for some reason, and I had nowhere to pee, so I had to pee in this bag of melon that someone gave us.
Oh!
It's perfectly good melon, and I had to piss all over it. And then, and he was jamming on the brakes, I was peeing on myself. We're not one of those bands that, drinks heaps of beer and fucks heaps of chicks, so I don't have too many of those kinds of embarrassing stories to tell. Oh yeah.
My favourite one was we were staying with someone in the middle of the night. I had to go up to use the bathroom, which I did pretty comprehensively, and in my daze didn't flush it. And so first thing in the morning, Cam was confronted by my misadventures in the middle of the night, and that wasn't. I just felt so. I actually have never felt so wretched for another human being.
It was so funny because the next morning, no one had said anything to anybody. It was all silent. And somehow we managed to get out of the house, get ready, and get into the car without saying a thing to each other. And the silence was broken by Cam going, "Okay, new rule. If you have a shit, flush the toilet."
And I was like, why did someone not flush or something? And it was me. I was unaware.
That's horrible.
It is horrible.
That's chemical warfare.
Exactly, yeah.
I think it gives a whole new definition.
It's easily, and that's actually very embarrassing. You know what I mean? So it is. That's the definition of embarrassing. Walking in on your friend, banging someone isn't embarrassing. It's funny, but that is shameful.
Well, you learned your lesson, right?
Exactly. In America, you got to hold it down to flush. You got to hold it down to go all the way. Yeah.
Right on, you guys. Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys at the Riot Room.
Excellent.
I think you guys are going to enjoy Kansas City.
Please do us a favor. Drop us a line before you come through. Remind us that you're going to be there, because we'd love to. We'll chat to you before we go. We'll chat to you before the show or afterwards or something like that. Yeah,
that'd be fantastic.
That'd be nice to catch up.
I think we could do some maybe video stuff, and that would be fun.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Excellent.
All right, you guys. Well, for those of you listening, this is Ragdoll. Be sure to find their EP, All I Want Is Everything, on CD Baby, iTunes. You can look them up on ragdollrock.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, yes, with the music video. Very kick-ass. So you guys rock. Thank you so much for stopping in.